Ukulele lesson number 4, a new chord. Last video we learned to play the C7 chord. 1, 1, and 1. Finger number 1, string number 1 above the first fret. Today we are adding the F chord. F is going to use fingers 1 and 2 and 2 strings that we haven't used yet. Finger number 1 from C7 is going to go to the second string right above the first fret and push down. And finger number 2, your middle finger, is going to reach all the way over to the last string and push just above the second fret. It should look like this. It is not the most comfortable position when you are first learning how to do this. It's very hard to get finger number 2 to not lay on the strings and stand up so that that string underneath it can vibrate. So it should sound like this. And you'll hear even my fingers with ALS get really lazy, and it's not exactly pretty sometimes. So don't worry if you're having trouble getting F to sound clear. It comes with a lot of practice. So when you are going from F to C7, you can roll back and use this part of your finger, not the tip, but this part back here to hold down string 1 for the C7 chord. And that makes it a lot easier to go from F to C7. So that's what you need to practice doing right now before you attempt any of the songs or practice lines that are to come. You need to be very comfortable going from F to C7 and back to F over and over and over. When you think you've gotten that down pretty well, go ahead and start the video again, and let's move on to the next part of the lesson, 4B. We have some practice lines, and number 6 is in 4/4 time, and if we look along the top, we have 2 chords. We have our F for the first measure and the second measure, and then we see that it changes to C7 for the third measure and the fourth measure. And don't forget to repeat. So let's go a little bit slower than we were going and give this a whirl. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and change. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, repeat, and go back to F. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and change. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hopefully that wasn't too bad. Next line, number 7, we're going to change chords a little more frequently. The first measure is F, second measure is C7, third measure is back to F, fourth measure we're back to C7. You'll also notice that we're in 3/4 time, so we only have 3 strums per measure, and we also have a repeat sign. So let's practice line number 7. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. F, 2, 3. C7, 2. Repeat. F, 2, 3. C7, 2, 3. F, 2, 3. C7, 2, 3. How did that one go? Hopefully well. All right, line number 8. 4/4 time, we're going to toss it up a little bit. Sometimes you have 4 strums for your chord. Sometimes you're only going to have 2 strums, or maybe 3 in the last measure. So we have F in the first measure, C7 in the second measure. Third measure, you're going to have 2 strums of F, 2 strums of C7, and then the last measure, you'll go back to F for 3 strums and then a rest. If you haven't been silencing your strings on the quarter rest, now's probably a good time to start trying to do that. So we're starting with F on line number 8. Don't forget to repeat. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, C7, 2, 3, 4, F2, C7, 4, F2, 3, rest, repeat. 1, 2, 3, 4, C7, 2, 3, 4, F2, C7, 2, F2, 3, off. All right, line number 9. We are going to do 2 lines of song. So far, all of our practice lines have ended in a double bar line or a repeat sign. Now we are going to see that the first line of number 9, there is a regular bar line. That means you're going to keep going down to the next line of the song, and you'll see at the end of that next line there is a double bar line, so you will be stopping and you don't have to repeat this time. So let's try a little sight reading. Even if you haven't played this before, try to just do what it says. You should be able to handle it by now. Okay, the first chord is F, and we have 4 beats per measure. Let's do some sight reading. 1, 2, ready, go. F, 2, 3, 4, C7, 2, 3, 4, F, 2, 3, 4, C7, 2, 3, 4, F, C7, F, C7, F, rest, C7, rest, F, C7, F, rest. Ooh, that ending is tricky. I would recommend practicing number 9 quite a few times until you're very familiar with it before trying the next thing. We're going to do a real song, Row, Row, Row Your Boat. And some people don't like this. Sorry, I needed a drink for this part. Part of the fun of playing ukulele is that you get to sing while you play. So I'm going to expect you to sing along while you're playing. I have had 4th graders do this, 5th graders, 6th graders with no problem. So I have all the faith in the world that you can do it too. I've given you some practice strategies here above line number 10, row, row, row your boat. And the first thing to do is to count and strum, which is what we've been doing so far. The next time you do it, either hum the melody of the song or la 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 the song, either way, so you're not worrying about words. You can focus more on your strums that way. And then the next time you try it, you should sing and strum. So that's the way we're going to do this right now. So the first chord is F. We are in 2/4 time, so there's only 2 beats per measure. So we're going to check ahead of time. We see that F is pretty much the only chord the first line. I see a regular bar line at the end, so I'm going to go to the next line. Still chord F, still chord F. Third measure of that line, I see a C7, and then the last measure will be F. So hopefully that little preview helped you out there. Let's give it a try. Line number 10, row, row, row your boat. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. That's it. Now this time I'm just going to use la 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 instead of the lyrics to row, row, row your boat while we play. So let's see if you can do that. The first note is row. Let's try it. 1, 2, ready, go. La, 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 la. Not bad. This time, let's do the words. I really doubt you need to read them. You should know them in your head. So this should be pretty easy. Let's give it a try. 1, 2, sing and play. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. Once you're comfortable with row, row, row row your boat. There's a lot of songs on the next lesson for us to try together, so join me there when you're ready.